He is a CFFC veteran. He's now a PFL welterweight, and he is Memphis's own as well. You could call him Sweet Pease. It's Kevin Pease. Man, a few days removed from your big show debut. Just talk to me, Kevin. How are you feeling about that, man? You got to the big time, and you got a big win.
Man, I feel great. It was an honor to fight in the PFL cage, and it was an honor to share it with Nick Meck. And we pushed each other to the limits, and I was very happy with the performance.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get into the performance itself. It was a gritty one, but let's talk about this first. All right, you were 4-0 in the CFFC. It was clear to me that you had the talent for the big show. We talked about it. We knew you were going to get there. It was just a matter of time. And then sure enough, this PFL invitation pops up. So how did that whole process go? Were you pursuing? Were you talking to the PFL? Did they just call you up? How did this invitation come about?
Well, originally I was waiting on the CFFC title shot. I thought it was just as good as secured. And then the company decided to go in another direction. And I was taking some time to pivot and figure out my next move and what I wanted to do and what excited me. And I went down to Florida to start getting in shape just for whatever was going to come my way. And PFL contacted me while I was there. And I said, fuck, I guess I got to get ready right now.
That's awesome. Well, I'm going to have to talk to the CFFC matchmakers, by the way, but I'm happy you got that PFL call. You didn't have to go far for the debut, right? Nashville, Tennessee. I guess, did the family make it out? Did you have some people in the building? What was that trip like for you?
Family made it out. A lot of friends made it out to come support from all over the South. I got my ticket code out late, so I don't think I'll get credit for everything I sold, but I brought a lot of people in, and I was happy with the turnout.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad you had some support in the building. All right, let's talk about the fight, right? Facing Nick Meck. He's a talented dude, right? He also fought in the CFFC, a guy that I think is going to have plenty of wins ahead in the future, man. He's got some real talent, and it did not come easy for you. You got tagged early, and you got a little bit rocked. So tell me what you remember about that. I mean, was there this like an oh no kind of moment, like here you are in your big show debut, and you're on the ground, or what was that moment like for you?
So I started off early. I kind of lost balance early on, and he was able to pounce on me and really start working ground and pound with some heavy shots. And the whole time I was just thinking about staying composed and recovering the position. I started flipping it around. I was wall walking up, and I hit him with a big knee in the clinch, and I was thinking in my head, man, I'm about to catch him with the right hook. And he had the idea sooner and caught me. And that dude hits like a truck. So when he caught me, I went to my ass, but I was able to catch myself. And I was like, man, I got to scramble out of this one now too. He was able to get more good shots on the ground, and I started bleeding. And I remember looking at my blood falling on my hand. And I thought, man, if I get out of this round, I'm going to fucking get this guy. So
I love it. That's the mindset of a true fighter right there. And you did, right? I mean, you battled back, and it was a grind, man. All right. Clearly win round 2. Tough fight going into round 3. A tight fight, right? I mean, the pace, I think, affected both you guys. That was a hard fight. At the end of it, John McCarthy, Dan Hardy, both absolute knowledgeable experts in the field of MMA. I got all the respect for them in the world. They said they thought Nick Meck did enough. Now, honestly, I thought you did enough. I thought you won round 3, right? I mean, to me, we're supposed to be rewarding damage. We're supposed to be rewarding offense. We're not rewarding just control time, which he had some great wrestling, but I didn't think he did any damage. So what did you think? The end of round 3, you and your team, are you guys like, we got this? Are you nervous? Are you concerned? What did you think about round 3 and therefore the score of the whole fight?
In the heat, I didn't know. In the heat of it right after, I didn't know, but I've watched the fight back about 20 times, and he did have good wrestling exchanges, but he didn't have any solid takedowns where he held and controlled me down on the mat. He was mostly pressing against the fence. He's a big, strong guy, so that wasn't too much of a struggle, but he didn't land, I don't think, a single strike on me in the whole third round, whereas I hit him with 11 unanswered hammer fist. I kneed him throughout. I hit him with a big left hand at the beginning of the round. And I think my steady pace of hurting him in the clinch, I hurt him into the body at one point, which he recovered from when we kind of got into that roll, if you call it. And I thought I landed way more strikes than enough to get my hand raised. So of course I want to dominate more and finish those kind of fights, but I don't think anybody had taken Nick Meck to that point. My teammate JP, he fought a fight against him and hurt him bad with elbows in the second, but kind of got stuck on the fence in the last round. But when I was stuck, I feel like I was able to damage him more, and he was holding on for dear life.
Yeah, I thought you did. So I thought it was, I mean, all three judges felt the same way as well. So it worked out great. Now that it's in the rearview mirror, I mean, was there a different feel? Were there nerves? Was it, I don't know, a different energy or a different nervous feel ahead of the fight because it was the PFL, or was this just another night in the office for you?
It's always just another fight in the cage. If anything, the more nerve-wracking thing was seeing my mother and my wife in the front row. You know, putting on a show in front of them is always more nerve-wracking than PFL and UFC or whoever, whatever cage it's in. So I was just nervous to perform in front of them.
That's hilarious. And I know they're nervous. Boy, there is nothing more nerve-wracking than watching the loved one of a fighter during a fight, right? Because they know they can't do nothing for you, and they want to help you so bad, and they can't do anything. It is so rough.
Yeah, my mom had a rough night. She was stressing for me.
Well, it worked out great, so hopefully she was happy. By the way, besides your family, how about Michael Chandler over there? I mean, I know you got your corner over there helping you out, but were you able to channel some of that Michael Chandler advice and energy over there?
Yeah, we made a good eye contact right when I got in the cage, and I was like, "Oh, my big brother's over here," so I really gotta put on a show. And I think it was a very Michael Chandler-esque fight, back and forth, lots of scrambles, blood and guts. So I think I lived up to it pretty good. And also shout out to DC. When I was back in the locker room getting my hands wrapped, he gave me a call and gave me some support. So I was grateful for that as well.
Man, that is super cool. That is great to have advice from guys like that and just words of encouragement, right? Because they've been there and they've done that. So talk to me about what's next. I mean, from my understanding, this was not just a one-off, right? Like you actually have a deal with the PFL. So what's the plan? Have they given you any indication of, they'll slide you in again before the end of the year, get you another showcase fight, or have they talked about any plans whatsoever?
Yeah, they got a time period to offer me a fight and slide me in, but if they're not able to, I'll go out and test free agency. And whether it's back with PFL, whether it's free agency and somewhere else, I know it's going to be a huge fight, and I'm just excited to get back in there and compete again. I learned a lot from this one. Nick Meck surprised me a lot in good ways, and I took a lot of confidence from being able to, on relatively short notice for me, perform that way.
No doubt. I did see, by the way, you took a picture with the PFL belt. So does that mean if they got an invitation next year for that $1 million season, you would be you'd be ready to test yourself at that level?
Of course, I'm ready for any belt, and I'm, like I always say, I'm here for money and championships. So anytime I get one of those opportunities, I'm jumping right on it and getting ready.
I love it, man. Well, listen, I thought it was a gutsy performance. I know you said you want to be more dominant moving forward. We've seen that domination out of you before, so I'm sure we'll see it again. What's like I said, you got to figure out what's the next move. Do you take some time off it now? What's the plan? Do you go straight back to Kill Cliff and get back in the gym? Do you take some time off? What's the immediate plan?
I'm taking some time off, just being with the family, but I'm always training. I'm always working on things. There's a lot of things to tweak in that fight, and my coaches have scolded me, and we're already working on fine-tuning those things. And whenever sends the next big contract, I'll be ready for it and happy to oblige.
I love it, man. Hey, that's the mark of greatness, though, right, man? When you're still, frustrated, maybe you're looking for faults, even in victory, right? It's real easy to win and be like, well, we got everything right. We don't need to change a thing. But when you can analyze your own performance, man, that's the mark of a fighter that's destined for big things.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it.
No doubt about it, man. Well, listen, I'm happy for you, man. I'm proud to see everything that you're accomplishing. Any other thoughts or messages that you want to get out there for anybody that may be seeing you for the first time or got to see you fight for the first time at PFL?
I just hope you enjoyed the show. I put my heart, soul, and body into that performance like I do every time. I want to thank my sponsors, Raw Farms and Desi Saturdays, for supporting me through this camp and in the fight. And I just hope everyone stays tuned and that I can keep entertaining the fans.
I love it, man. Hard fought win. You deserved it. I look forward to the fight news. Appreciate the time, Kevin. Go enjoy that time with the family, and we'll see you again real soon.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.